Let's meet the party panel. I'm Kennedy. All right, should we all donate money to the Clinton Foundation while we still legally can buy some influence? Let's ask our fire retardant party panel. That means it's stopping the fire. Tonight it's Katherine Timpf, National Review reporter and the Greg Gutfeld Show correspondent. She's joined in the middle by Michael Malice, Observer columnist and decorated author. And also tonight, Fox News contributor Julie Roginsky. Julie, you're not necessarily outnumbered. It depends on the topic.
Well, no, I'm a little offended. You really think U2's music is tired?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why so many people were mad when it automatically showed up on their phone. If it were wide awake, people would be like, yes, free music.
No.
It's for paleontologists, you know. Some
What's
people
wrong
like
with you people?
Some people like dinosaur rock.
Wrong.
Okay.
Across the silver screen.
How hard are the Clintons scrambling right now to get those foreign donations before the election?
Exactly. If they don't have to stop before, they'll just say, hey, give us the money now, and then when I'm president. Also, the whole, okay, when they're president thing, or when Hillary's president, then we won't do that anymore. That wouldn't be appropriate. That'd be a conflict of interest. Isn't that saying that it was also a conflict of interest while she was Secretary of State? They're trying to say that it wasn't then,
or
but it
United
is now.
States Senator?
Exactly. So how is it any different now? I don't understand how people are getting away with saying, okay, we will, but no, there wasn't anything wrong with what she did.
Yeah,
it's the exact
you know
same
what?
thing.
If this is a good charity and they're doing the Lord's work, why would
not
you
continue?
ever shut it down or have someone step down?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the things where the Trump people complain about media bias, and I think they have a point. Because people forget that the Clinton impeachment in the 90s started with the investigation of Chinese money and Chinese influence under Bill Clinton's campaign and then presidency. So this has been going on with them for decades, and in their defense, they've never had to account for it or answer to anyone, have any repercussions. So why wouldn't they milk this cow for all it's worth?
No, they absolutely are. And it's interesting because if she, for some reason, and you and I both agree that she's going to win.
Yeah.
I think she's a horrible person, and it would make me very sad if she became
Really?
president.
Because the alternative is Donald Trump, so I don't know how sad you'd be.
No, I'm probably going to be a little sniffly
Both counts.
after Election Day. But if she loses, no one's going to care about the foundation anymore. That's the amazing thing. The whole thing's going to fall apart because what's the point? There's no more favor to Curry if she's not going to be president.
In fairness, I think the foundation was started. Well, that's not true, actually. The foundation was started when she was a senator, so really there was always favor to Curry.
Great job.
I have said, and I agree with you from day one, that the minute she became Secretary of State, but you brought up the senator point, which I think is a good one, they shouldn't have had the foundation, or at least Bill Clinton should have put it in a blind trust, have other people run it, distance himself. It's a conflict, and it's clearly a conflict, and you can't defend it.
I mean, but the incredible thing is it's always been their staff going back and forth. It's always been the same people, the same cronies. There is no differentiation. There is no blind trust. It's going to be people who've been working with them for decades.
Yeah, but day one, when they went into the White House, Hillary Clinton got the travel office, nonpartisan government bureaucrats fired and their lives ruined just for the sake of, in her words, getting our people in. This is her MO. This is how they always work. The ruthlessness and the demand for loyalty. Susan Thompson, whatever her name was, went to jail because she wouldn't testify against Hillary. That's what the kind of secrecy and loyalty she demands from the beginning. That's why they used to call her the Lady Macbeth of Little Rock.
Yeah, and that's how they sewed up all those superdelegates as well, is relying on strong-arming and making promises to all those people in exchange for...
Also, she won more votes than the other guy.
She did. No, there's no doubt about that. But the whole slippery superdelegate slope.
But don't forget, she
lost
the superdelegates to Obama in 08, so I don't know how much she was strong-arming people back then. So
yeah, but she learned the lesson. She had to go back to the old Clintonian.
They were strong-arming people in 2008, and you can't blame them.
I'm scared of the Clintons.
What are you scared of?
What do you mean, what am I scared of? They're like the most powerful people ever. They can do whatever they want, and it doesn't matter. She said before she was Secretary of State, she promised to conduct business with the Clinton Foundation in a way that wouldn't even give not only no conflict, but the appearance of conflict. Every day we're hearing about a new appearance of conflict. She doesn't feel accountable to anybody, not even standards she sets for herself, and that only will get worse if she has the power of being the president.
But here's the problem for Donald Trump on this and for Republicans in general. If you think that, and by the way, I don't disagree with you on anything you just said, but if you think that, for the most part, if this is the definitive issue that you're voting on, you're already not voting for her. And the problem...
No, not necessarily. I mean, her poll numbers do seem to be tied to not only the investigation and the case that he laid out, but the unfavorability is so high.
There's a
because
poll.
I know because there's more emails, there's more of a trove.
It's not going to make a difference.
No answers, and instead of addressing it, they just get defensive. But let's talk about Donald Trump a little bit because he's hammering away at Hillary about the alleged pay-to-play policies of the Clinton Foundation. Watch this.
The amounts involved, the favors done, and the significant number of times it was done require an expedited investigation by a special prosecutor immediately.
Donald Trump says that if he is elected, he's going to appoint that special prosecutor to go after the Clintons. Is that going to make any difference?
It's not going to make a difference. And look at their MO. Ken Starr was a government employee doing his job, trying to investigate an investigation that was given to him by Congress or whoever's put him in charge. And every single day, the Clinton goons were going after him, attacking him as someone who's sex obsessed.
Did you read that report? He's a little sex obsessed.
You don't have to be when the president is talking about finishing off in a sink.
The descriptive terms were a little more than thank you. Actually, the descriptive terms were exactly
sex obsessed.
It's not sex obsessed if the issue is did this
50
person.
Shades of Grey made a lot of money.
It's not sex obsessed if the issue on the subject is did this person commit perjury about these acts.
Fine, but you don't have to go and describe them in detail.
Deep detail.
You know, deep detail.
If you're repeating
it's like the Kinsey report, not the Starr report. Now I want to ask you very quickly. Maybe Julie's right. Maybe there's nothing she could do to really change or soften perceptions. Like, people are already decided they're either voting for her or against her. Nothing seems to stick. Could she smother a baby?
Yeah, I think she could put a big bag full of puppies and throw it in a river and people wouldn't care.
But you know why? Because
maybe she does do that.
But you know what? Because you've got this moron, for lack of a better word, who can't stay on message for more than 2 minutes.
I'm okay with it calling him a moron, absolutely.
And the problem for him is, and I'm going to hear about it from everybody on Twitter, but it's true, he is a moron because he can't stay on message. And the problem for him is because he can't stay on message, because you just delivered a much better message, and you just delivered a much better message than the Republican nominee can. That's why nobody cares about what he's
saying.
having
a good
time. You get a car, and you get a car. Call me Oprah. The party panel returns a little later to answer whether or not homework is hurting or helping kids. One teacher canceling homework for the entire school year. I can hear you cheering now, girls. Oh, listen to this. A second-grade teacher in Texas has done what every kid has ever dreamed of. She's dropping all homework assignments this coming school year, saying, quote, research has been unable to prove that homework improves student performance. Rather, I ask that you spend your evenings doing things that are proven to correlate with student success. Eat at dinner as a family, read together, play outside, and get your child to bed early. Is she crazy? Is she on something, or is she onto something? My gallant party panel returns Katherine Timpf, Michael Malice, and Julie Roginsky. So, Julie, I will say this as mother of 2 elementary school students. Homework sucks.
I'm sure it does. And as a mother of a preschool student, I can't wait till my kid is stuck doing homework and gets off the iPad and actually starts doing something productive for a living.
Hey, guess what?
For a change.
You will have 2 of the most unproductive, confusing, and annoying hours of your evening.
Oh, I'm not involved in this. He's on his own. What do you think? I'm going to sit there. I've already done my homework. I've done my homework.
I'm going to be a free-range mom and just like, yee!
I'm going to be drinking at the bar with you, and then he's going to come home. I'm going to put him to bed, and then we'll start again.
Let's pretend we're asleep. Let's get to bed early.
That's how you do it. That's how you get the kid to bed early.
This whole wanting to be the cool teacher thing is kind of weird. Like, no homework. I'm the cool teacher. Love me, please. I mean, why do you care if second graders like you or not? Or does she just not want to grade homework?
Well, probably, but the point is, it's just busy work.
Yeah.
I loved homework.
And to put on my Bernie Sanders hat for a second, this is kind of this whole thing about how corporate America doesn't have boundaries for people. They think you should take your work home with you. When I'm done with school, my life is my own, and this is a way to teach the kids to get ready for an office job where your boss can make you have overtime or come in on weekends. And I resented that when I had a day job, and thankfully I don't have to deal with that anymore.
There's a middle school that some of my daughter's friends are going to, and they have 2 to 3 hours of homework a night.
I had
in
that.
middle school.
I did that too.
I don't think it makes you smarter. I don't think it makes you better prepared. Yeah, exactly. And I do think that the brain regenerates when it has some time off from school. And I do think you should be able to make that differentiation.
Yes.
I do have to say, when you're a little kid and you don't have time to do anything because you're doing homework all the time, it does suck.
Yeah, when you're overscheduled and you don't have that free time
and it makes
to play.
you hate learning.
That's absolutely right. And then school becomes a big failure, and then you're forced into college by federal programs.
Exactly.
Thanks, President Sanders. Next summer, former Victoria's Secret model and talk show guru Tyra will teach a class in personal branding at Stanford University. For just 2 weeks, we're told Tyra will lecture on how to get rich by harnessing all forms of media and her giant lady melons. So, Kat, I know people expect them to be like, Tyra Banks is dumb, Stanford's smart. I actually love this. I think it's great. I think branding is so incredibly important, and for people getting their MBAs right now, by and large, they're millennials, and all they know is personal branding.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be on brand all the time, which is why I shower with these glasses on. It's totally necessary. I think it's great. I think she's good at it. She is pretty scary, though. I'm a little scared of her, but in a I respect you kind of way.
You saw ANCM for enough seasons?
Yeah, when she was like, we were all rooting for you. I was like scared at home when I was watching that. I would feel bad going like looking ugly to her class. That might be a problem, but I think it's a great thing.
We only have a few seconds. What are some of the homework?
I'm not worried about looking ugly ever, but I think...
You don't have to, Malice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The camera says much. Clearly, the homework assignments are going to be things like, to getting your photo taken in freezing cold water, or trying to write a paper while Naomi Campbell's throwing her cell phone at you, which I'm going to get an A in.
Last word, Julie.
Good for you, Tyra.
Agreed.
Done.
No, I miss America's Next Top Model.
I don't even know what you're
giant
talking about.
Pictures of Tyra.
Over her own house, like to make other people live in a house that's covered in your pictures. That is my dream. I want to do that someday.
I have that at my house. It is covered in pictures of you.
Yeah.
You may not know.
Really?
I wasn't supposed to say that out loud, but it kind of is.
The pudding thickens. All right, thank you guys so much. Julie, Michael, and Kat. Beautiful. All right, coming up, Dr. Ron Paul joins me to discuss President Obama's trip to the Louisiana flood zone and what the federal government should and should not do when disaster strikes. Stay with me.